My name is Daryl Cowens. I'm from Fayetteville, Georgia, and I'm excited about attending my first UA game. My daughter made the cheerleading team, so I'm excited about bringing her down here to experience Alabama.
And we're back here on the Tighter Insider 8A special brought to you by Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. It's the unbeatable combination for termite protection. It's time now to talk about the Alabama offense. A lot of the experts think that they'll have to carry the load this season, at least early on, because the defense will be inexperienced and to some degree untested. Now, wide receiver Julio Jones has had a tremendous spring. In each one of Alabama's scrimmages, he had receptions totaling over 100 yards. But his on-the-field performance is not the only thing that is turning the coaches' heads.
You know, Julio has completely set a different standard for how receivers do things here in practice and every other way in terms of how he goes about things. And I think he provides a lot of leadership.
Well, Rodney, there's no denying the talent of Julio Jones. He arguably is one of the most physically gifted wide receivers to ever come through here, and that's saying something. His freshman season was phenomenal. Last year was solid, but he was banged up. He battled through injuries. It wasn't quite what I think a lot of the fans had hoped for in terms of Julio Jones. But this year, he looks like he is primed, to really have a huge year.
Well, I think Julio would be the first to tell you, Gary, that he certainly didn't have the kind of season he hoped for last year. Again, you mentioned the injuries, and he did battle through those. And, you just get the feel from Julio, the focus. He's at another level as we entered spring practice, with physically he looks bigger, he looks stronger, he looks just simply more focused, Gary, and I think he is primed to have a big year.
There's more good news for the offense. You've got Julio Jones, but you've also got the returning Heisman Trophy winner, the starting tailback Mark Ingram. The guy behind him, Trent Richardson, is almost on the same level. You've got a couple of spots in the offensive line they'll be replacing, but for the most part, it's an experienced group. You've got a good group of tight ends. You've got a senior quarterback that's never lost a game as a starter. You've got wide receivers to complement Julio Jones. This offense has a chance to be really good.
It really does, Gary. We talked about Julio Jones. We often forget the progress that Marquise Mays and just what he added last year with that speed and that big play ability. Remember back to the Arkansas game when he made the big catch to put Alabama up 21-7 on an 80-yard touchdown pass. That's the kind of ability he brings to this offense. I think a year under his belt, certainly we're going to see more of those kinds of plays. Darius Hanks, you've got some other young receivers, Kevin Norwood, a freshman. So a lot of weapons offensively.
It's going to be fun watching this offense. They'll still be a downhill running team, but I think we'll see more explosive plays in 2010. Well, don't touch that dial. When we come back, we've got a special report on Alabama's Barrett Jones and his recent trip to Haiti. But first, here's quarterback Greg McElroy on today's game plan.
I think people understand our playing style, and I think they've seen and become familiar with our playbook. However, I think it's just we obviously have installed a lot of new things this spring. So we're going to keep those in the cupboard until the wins and losses count.